You do you want you could do so you want him to do you so much you could do anything.
Okay, there we go. Thank you very much. Welcome to the Father and Son podcast. It's week 3, episode really 2, but I put 3. I don't know. I'm a little confused. We've been away for a couple of weeks, folks. This is my son RJ. How you going? Say hi to the folks.
Hi, folks.
Hi, folks. How you going? So first of all, if you could like and share the show, give it a like, give it a share it around. Subscribe to YouTube. Yes, if you could subscribe to our channels, would be fantastic.
And if you can, maybe hit the bell.
Hit the bell, why not? Yeah, hit the bell so you can catch every bit of show that comes out. But this week, so we've been away for a couple of weeks, son, haven't we? So I just want to explain straight off the bat to the folks on where we've been. Obviously, we want to do this show every week. It's only a half an hour show, so thanks for joining us so far there. I see you guys and the listeners there on Fireside. If you're on other platforms, give us a message so we know that you're there as well. But basically, we're going to do this on a Friday or a Saturday night just because of family commitments. Sometimes we don't know what we're going to be doing. So today's a Saturday for us. But 2 weeks ago, I was just working quite a lot and late that day. So I didn't get a chance. And we were going to have Pebble Steady and Charlotte. Shout out to you guys because you're going to be our very first guests, father and daughter on the show. But we didn't get a chance to do it that weekend. So the following weekend, we're like, right, we're going to do it. Charlotte was excited. So was RJ. Then RJ, myself, my wife, my daughter, all got struck with gastro pretty damn bad. So we were out of whack for a few days there, right, RJ? Yeah. So now's our next chance. We're back. Put the lights down, son. Thank you. And we're going to do this show for you guys. So thank you for joining us. Before we get going, you want to sit back there? Okay. Just sit back there. You're right. Get comfortable. You're right, mate. Not a problem. Just chill on here. I want to give a shout out to Mrs. Red Rose for the tips in the last show. If you're actually following us on YouTube or Facebook or Twitch, there's a little barcode in the top left corner, and that if you give that a scan, that's if you want a tip to support the show. These tips go to little RJ towards his Oculus, which he's saving for, and he's not that far off. But Mrs. Red Rose has been a fantastic contributor, so no more please. I just want to say that straight up in case she's listening somewhere. But there's Tina on there. Thank you, Tina, for joining in. But if you want to give that a scan and just it's like a $5 or $10 tip, whatever currency that you're in at the moment. So thank you very much. Okay, so now let's get on to it. I think. Oh no, I wanted to give that special shout out to Pebble Steady and to Charlotte. How you going, guys? Sorry we didn't get to do the show last week specifically. Sorry? What's that? Okay, I don't know what he's saying. It doesn't matter. He doesn't understand. Okay. King Dart. Okay, hey, how you going, King Dart? Thank you very much. Yes, so pay attention, like I said, about the messages. Extremely distracting with an ADHD ASD kid here, right? Yeah, which is what we're going to go into now. But a shout out to you guys. You guys will be our first guests for sure. We're holding off the next week or two until you're back there, Pebble Steady, which is actually named Bryce. His name's Bryce in real life. And we're looking forward to having you guys as guests. So thank you very much. Oh, speaking of Bryce, the other Bryce has come here on Fireside, and Rose is there, and Jenny, thanks, Dave, Bombastic. Oh, you guys are all here. Thank you.
Jenny.
Right. So, messages. There is a message that's come in here from Tino. I'm going to play it. Okay, son?
Who is it?
It's from Sentinel. Here, see the same guy here, Sentinel? He's
Sentinel.
King Dart is me, Bryce. Oh, that's Bryce. King Dart is Bryce, which is this guy here too. See there? Oh, hang on. Which Bryce is it? There's 2 Bryces. Bryce, which Bryce? Is that Bryce or is it the other Bryce?
They're both the same Bryce.
Okay. Here we go. Message from Sentinel. Here we go.
Hey guys, Bonacetta from Geelong. How yous going? I hope yous all well and recovered and not sick. I'm here to listen in all the way from Geelong. Ciao, love yous.
Oh, beautiful. Thanks for chiming in there, Tino. He's from across the country. I want to show you that. Actually, we do this little thing where we show, we'll do a share screen. Here we go. Let's do this. It's hard enough doing your own show concentrating, but then to have
Santino.
Yes.
Santino.
Sentinel, yes.
When he was talking, it sounded like he was It was echoing. It sounded like he was at a restaurant.
Well, he might be busy. We don't know. But this is where he's actually calling from Australia. And look, he's across Australia down there. So
There's also a Perth Bryce that I saw.
so that's the Bryce that was supposed to be on the show last week, but we're going to have him. But look, that's the distance there, Vin. See that? That's where he's calling from. Okay.
Victoria.
Yes. Okay. So on the messages on the screen, King Dart is Perth Bryce. Hey, going, man. Like, I hope you got that message before. We're waiting for you guys to be our first guest because we couldn't make it obviously last week and the week before. Right. Now, I wonder if those messages, no, they're not. There's some other private messages for us. All right. So what I wanted to go into today, before we do, one more shout out actually. And if you guys wanted to give this page a follow here on IG, it's shout out to Daniel M. Jones for the channel that he's got called the Aspie World. The Aspie World is a Instagram page. I've been getting a lot of bits of information about trying to understand what it's like in the world of someone with Asperger's. And as you know, my son's been diagnosed maybe a few weeks ago, a month ago or so. And so I'm trying to get my head around this space of that, and potentially my daughter too, on another level. So it's a lot of information overload, research, study, trying to understand things. And this is the purpose why we did one of these shows, to get him involved and get him out there mixing with the people. So I wanted to go into that a little bit today, but if you want to give the Aspie World on IG a follow, I'm gonna give him a tag. I've tagged him on this as well, so we're going to see if maybe one day he wants to come and be a guest on this show as well. Okay, so Aspie kids, I think we want to just get a bit of an understanding about
Aspie kids.
Yeah. So what's it like to be an Aspie kid? So there's some different traits. Do you want to hear what they are?
Can I sort of tell what it's like for me to be an Aspie kid?
Yeah, like that. But what I want to do is just update the listeners first a little bit on what it's like to for some of the traits for Aspies.
Question for me.
Yeah, questions for you soon. Don't worry about that. All right. So I want to run over a couple, because you might notice some things in your own kids that you might overlook. With my son, very well-functioning boy, extremely clever, aren't you, son? Yep.
A great builder.
Great builder, and he's really
Great
good at
drawer.
certain things. There's some pros and cons about being an Aspie kid.
Great drawer.
And it's maybe hard to tell sometimes if you have a kid on the spectrum. It was some certain particular traits that I saw that, when I started to collect the evidence, would show that there was more evidence than not to prove that there was somewhere on the spectrum that maybe had to be dealt with. But some of these things that people with Asperger's, which is high functioning autism, will go through is they find it hard to communicate and interact with other people. My son has no problem walking up to people, making friends. You're pretty good at that, right? Yeah, you're pretty good at that. Pretty good at making friends. But the problem, I think, is that holding the friends long term sometimes is hard, because you find it difficult to understand sometimes the way that they're treating you when you're playing and things like that, right?
No, I don't.
You think sometimes you think things are a bit unfair when you come home and you complain like, oh, it's not fair, this, that, and that. I'm not going to say any names, but do you have those conversations with me? Sometimes, yeah. Okay, so that's one of the things. Sometimes one of the traits is that they find it hard to understand how people think or feel. They find it hard to read the social cues, right? So another thing is that they get anxious or upset about unfamiliar situations or social events. There's been times where he's experienced levels of anxiety which were sort of standard protocol at night, going to bed or things like that. And it was quite a process to go through that and give the reassurance for him to be able to not experience anxiety anymore. So another thing is they take longer to understand information, or they think the same things over and over and over, right? So that's some of those traits, but some positive traits I want to go through about being an Aspie kid, right? Some good things is that they can have an average to high intelligence level. So I think that when it comes to certain things, you're actually we're going to get to the messages in a second. And I think that you're quite clever with certain things like space, solar system. Yeah.
Sorry.
Numbers.
Facts about animals.
Facts about animals. I've noticed that recently more. You're really, really laying on thick the facts of animals a lot. Yeah. Is it something that you love
Because
researching?
I tell,
Please, be my guest.
Did you know that? What was it again? Did you know that? I don't know which one to ask.
Which about an animal?
Can you tell me one that I've told you?
Oh dear. Okay, maybe something about you said something about a rabbit recently, didn't you?
Yeah, but I don't think he'll fit in with the show.
Okay. Do you want to revisit the question again soon?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do that. Okay, so another thing is that one of the positive traits is you can have verbal rich vocabulary, which I do find that sometimes I'm talking to you and it sounds like I'm talking to a little version of me. You know that. Sometimes you say the things back to me and I'm like, wow, that's like what I say, and I don't hear other kids sometimes say that, and I find it intriguing. I think it's pretty interesting. I like it. But you might not realize that you do it. It's not a bad thing. It's a good thing.
No, I don't realize it because you never say it to me.
No, I just notice it and I smile. Okay. So you might be better at having the ability to remember large bits of information, right? So something, particularly if you're interested in something, you'll be really focused on understanding, like facts about animals, for example, things like that. You actually really understand that well. And you tend to think outside the box to solve problems and solutions, which I think is one of your best traits.
Okay, now two facts about
Okay, what is it? You remember the facts? Let's go.
Did you know a blue whale is the size of a bus? And did you know a blue a blue whale going onto you is like having an elephant step on you?
I bet it is. It's even probably heavier, like a whale stepping on you, right? Pretty heavy, yeah.
The
Okay,
whales
interesting.
have legs.
Okay, so that was just some pros and cons about, or just some awareness brought in about Asperger's. But I want to sort of get some questions from the listeners. If you want to drop a message to ask little RJ any questions about what it's like to experience certain things, so that we can understand a little bit more about Asperger's in kids and just in people in general. I might start it off, but you can leave those voice messages at my Instagram, which is _rocksteady, and leave the voicemail and I'll be able to play it on the show. But until then, son, I want to know, as an Aspie kid, what it's like for you with loud noises.
If it's like a lawnmower or like a loud car or like a chainsaw, I would like to cover my ears because it's loud for me, like very loud.
How does it make you feel when you hear those loud sounds?
Sort of like I want to run out of the room so I can into a quiet spot.
Does it make you feel scared, uncomfortable?
Sometimes scared.
Yep.
If it's at night time and I'm outside, yeah, it sometimes makes me scared. The first time, sometimes, but every first second I hear the sound sometimes.
And I noticed that you used to do it more when you were a little bit younger than you do now. I think, have you worked out a way to just deal with it better, or it still makes you feel the same way?
Sort of still made me feel the same way.
But you're just able to deal with it a bit better?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, now if it's like a blender, I don't really cover my ears that much now. Before, when I was young, I used to all the time.
That's right. And even things like hairdryer, right? Like it's not comfortable for you. You don't feel comfortable.
I sort of sometimes put my ears up now.
Yeah. So these are one of the signs I started to notice with my son, just with noises covering his ears. And my daughter actually does it a lot, way more. Yeah, she does it for every little thing now.
Even opening the fridge and taking stuff out of the freezer.
If my alarm on my phone goes off, she freaks and covers her ears. So these are just it doesn't mean because your child's doing that they are on the spectrum or anything like that. I think there's lots of little bits of evidence that you collect over time to start to gather a case on that. So I think we're all on the spectrum somehow. I also don't like some loud noises. It makes me feel uncomfortable, but I'm able to deal with it. But maybe not so much in other cases for people that are Aspie kids. We have a message here from Dave, very good friend of mine. He runs a show, How Was Your Day, with his beautiful wife, the Happy Married Couple Podcast, the Married Couple Podcast. There you go, I got it right. Sorry, third time there, Dave. So he has a show every Wednesday evening in the US. You guys have got to check it out. It's a great, funny show. It's very interactive. It's on Fireside YouTube and their Facebook as well. But for now, here go is Dave.
Morning or good evening to you. What's going on, Rocksteady and Little Rocky V, or Rocky 5 as I like to call you. It's a great movie, by the way. Have your dad show that to you once you get old enough. But I did want to just point out that I'm here this morning and I finally made it to your show, which is awesome, except Rocky V, you've never been to my show. Which is probably good because my wife, Sam I Am, she cusses a lot. So probably don't come to that. But I did want to say hi there, and I made it, and I love you guys. You guys are awesome. And I'm just here to support you. And I'm going to figure out how to do that donate thing. And how far away from your total are you? Are you like $10 away or $100 away? Or anyway. I'm also in Omaha, Nebraska. That's in the middle of the United States, and you guys are awesome. All right, see you later.
Thank you very much, Dave. I'm just a second there, little RJ. I'm just trying to get a spot on where the map is, but it's not showing where Nebraska is. There it is. It's not got the line. Do you want to see how far they were in the world first? Then we'll answer his question. Right. So they're from Perth there, and whoops, and this went right across over to Nebraska, where he's from over here, right in the USA. Okay, so that's over a day's trip for sure. Right, we'll stop that now. Now the question.
So, first of all, if you want to know how to scan the QR code, it's well, for you it'll look like your for you it'll look the opposite, but for me it's that way. But
it's in the top left of your screen for everybody.
Yeah, so like
okay. It's okay.
basically there.
That's okay. We're doing mirrored. So, how far away is he? He is about $180 away from.
No, I am 380.
You're not. I've done the calculations with the tips that you've got so far, and the money that you've got saved. You're about $180 Australian away from getting your Oculus. Yes, that's right. So thank you very much, Dave. Appreciate that. Let's deal with a couple of messages on the screen here as well. We've got Hi Boys, Cool Shades from hang on, I'll read them out here. We've got Penny Lane here. Penny Lane's from Perth as well, son. Okay. She says, Hi Boys, Cool Shades. Sentinel, I'm at home in the lounge. King Dart, can't wait. That's for him being on the show with Charlotte. We've got Santino talking about Perth Zoo. He looks up to you and he said, sometime I get overwhelmed at the moment with stuff lately. So that's Santino. He's got his own things he's going through and he feels overwhelmed about stuff. So it's like a normal thing in life, son, to sometimes feel that way, right? But if anyone has any messages that they want to leave RJ about what is it like to experience certain things with being on the spectrum, it would be great if you could send through a message. I might have another one for you here. What is it like for you when you start to deal with numbers? I'm curious to know, what's it like?
So like when I have to do a math thing, sometimes I feel like, oh yeah, I want to do this. Sometimes I don't really feel like calculating. Sometimes I don't really feel like doing it. But as well, how about you give me math? Well, whatever.
I like how he tries to control the show there, but basically, I really would like to know how you feel. Like, is it something that you get excited about when you see lots of numbers?
Sometimes.
Yeah. Is it why? Is it because of the structure, organizing the numbers, or maths? Some pretty clever things you told me, like not that far back before we had a diagnosis, was like, tell me if you remember what you said about the odd numbers and even numbers. Two even numbers.
So two even numbers. So two even numbers make what's it called again?
End up being an even number. Yeah.
Odd and an even makes odd.
Always ends up with an odd number, you said, yeah.
Odd plus odd is odd. and even and odd.
Oh,
is
the odd and the odd ends up with no. This was the question
even.
you said. But how come an odd and an odd always ends up as an even? Is
I
what you
never
said.
said.
Yes, you did. That was the question. He actually sat down and actually was thinking
So-
about the way that numbers combine, right? And he said, Dad, an even and an even always ends up with an even. An odd and an even always ends up with an odd. But how can two odds always end up with an even? Which I understand the
And-
answer to,
Even.
but I never thought about how numbers do that sort of thing. So that was just like a little, spin
Math
off on that thing.
strikes again.
What's that?
Math strikes again.
Math strikes again. Okay. And another thing, just I noticed as a child, when my son was probably about 3 years old, and we were living in Thailand, he used to have a lot of little toy cars, planes, little matchbox.
Oh yeah, so like basically every single car, plane, anything that's what's it called again?
Every little vehicle that you had
Well,
as
yeah,
a toy.
basically. I used to always put them in line and put them in colors. If it would be like a green and black or like a yellow and black, sometimes I'll do whatever has the most, but if it was like mixing together, I'll just put them in their own separate groups, so like the mixed ones.
So just to recap on that, often he would line up his toys and gotta watch that. He would line up his toys and things from smallest to biggest, like kind of like
sometimes.
similarities and colors in one big line over and over, and it was fantastic to see.
But I wonder, but I you haven't seen this yet, but last year, actually, when I was in my room, I felt like, you know what? I felt like, and I even saying this in my mind, I'm going, you know what? When I was young, I used to color sort and set size figures with things. So how about I do it again? So I just did it again and then it just made me feel like I was still young.
Okay, that's good. All right, so we've got a message here from Joshua, Mr. Bombastic, your guy. Here we go. We're going to get to that one. So here we go. This is greetings from Spain. Right, so let's go and find out where that is right now. I'm not sure where in Spain, but that doesn't matter.
I'm just reading.
Let's do this. Let's do share screen.
Las Vegas.
Here, son. There we go. Bang. And we're going to go from Nebraska to Spain. World again, okay? There we go. Look. So from Spain, this message is coming from, but he actually lives in the UK. He actually lives here, but he's currently here. And the message is coming across the world to Perth here, okay? You ready?
Okay.
Here we go.
So excited. Big Rock and Little Rock Steady. Little Vinny, how you doing, my man? Hope you're all well. And I'm listening from not sunny Spain, from rainy Spain.
Rainy Spain. Wow, okay, so the weather's not so good there right now, but I do hope you're enjoying your trip over there, man.
And plus, he said my name, but as well, why can I hear music in the background?
Because he's somewhere out. He's probably at church, okay?
Why are there being music at church?
He's religious. So, okay, so here we go. So we've got Kim Duck. I'm going to read this message. RJ, how do you go winding down for bed? That's something Charlotte is finding hard at the moment.
So, like, by sleeping.
How do you relax your mind and go to sleep? You do have some help, right? Because of the medication you take?
Sometimes.
I
don't really.
We'll start it off by saying we give you some assistance first and then tell us the process. So we have to give Vinny like a tablet that helps slow down his daytime ADHD tablet and just melatonin tablets that help him slow down and wind down. And then what's your process to slow down and unwind at bedtime?
What?
What's your process? How do you slow down and wind down?
I actually, sometimes I just sleep good, but normally actually don't. Normally I just sit there lying in my favorite spot. I sleep there. I can't change it. So I always sit there waiting for a bit, then I keep twisting and turning because I can't stay still. So then I just keep it there staring at the pillow, and then I twist and turn again, and then I turn back, And then basically I just keep twisting and turning it, and it makes me tired. So then basically I just fall asleep.
So RJ has a bit of trouble falling asleep at night. So each night's a little different. Sometimes it's not a problem. He usually wants a light on. So we have he got a fish tank for Christmas. So the fish tank light is on, but there's a towel covering most of the tank. So there's a bit of light, a little bit of a distraction. You've got the hum of the bubbles. You've got the fish he can watch as he can just drift off. Sometimes that's not working. We have to turn his iPad on with some meditation calm music at night, right? To calm him down.
There was one that didn't even help me at all.
Sometimes it doesn't. Right? But okay. So I hope that answers your question. But melatonin, if you're having trouble, I'm going to recommend these great things off iHerb. They're fantastic melatonin tablets. For kids, they're like gummies, and it really helps them sleep. We've got a message from Chris. I'm not sure where Chris is. I think he might be in San Diego. But if you do want to give us a text message there, Chris, and I can pop that up on the map. But for now, we've got Chris Rossetti. He's got a beautiful voice, this man. Ready? Here we go.
We've got Chris, Bryce, I am James.
Good morning from San Francisco. This is Chris Rossetti saying happy Saturday in San Francisco. Hope you're having a great day. And remember something my father told me years ago. He said, son, if you can't remember something, then just forget it.
Fantastic advice. Did you hear that advice?
I didn't hear the part where he went.
He said his father said to him, if you can't remember something, just forget it. It doesn't matter. All right. But here's from San Francisco across the world here. 21 hours and 55 minutes to fly there from Perth. Right?
So 21, almost the whole day.
Almost the whole day. Yeah, nearly 22 hours there. Okay. So there we go. Stop sharing. And we'll go back to here. Chris, thank you for the message, brother. It's really good to hear from you there. He's chiming in from Fireside. Okay, we've got messages from another Bryce from New Zealand. Let's have a look. Pay attention, son. Here we go, because we're getting towards the end of the show. So we'll share the screen again here.
What time do we finish it?
We finish about 8:30, which is right now, but we'll go a couple of minutes over. Okay, so we're going to go here to New Zealand.
There.
Wow. Okay, New Zealand, bang. Look at this. See, it's just across Australia, right there. That's where he is based. Okay,
so that basically counts as Australia?
Well, it doesn't count as Australia. It counts as New Zealand, but we combine a lot of things, Australia and New Zealand. We work together. It's almost like a sister country to us, okay?
But then
here we go.
Why did New Zealand and Australia go to war then?
That's a whole other story.
Were they together or were
no, they didn't war against each other. They worked together.
Oh.
Yeah, okay. But he's got a question here. Hello from Wellington, New Zealand. My question to RJ, face up here to the camera. My question to RJ, how does he deal with different decisions that he may have to make? Sometimes you've got a decision that's hard to make. How do you deal with that?
The reason why I always put my head up, it's because sometimes I could sort of it's hard to see, but fade it out what the answer is. So I just say that. And sometimes I just put my head up because I'm thinking.
So when you come to a decision and leave that alone, and it's hard to decide, what do you do to help get you through that decision? Because I see that you get frustration sometimes when you can't.
The reason why I get frustration, it's because actually my feelings just give me that. I don't know why.
They what? Sorry, it gets overwhelming. Too much?
No, my feelings just give me that. I don't know why.
They just give you that. I don't know why. Okay. All right.
Can you make it?
We'll make it bigger. Any last chances to leave any questions? Now's your chances. We're about to sign off to the show. In a minute. So just want to say again, thank you for those that are listening here. We're coming up to the half-hour mark. It's only a short show once a week. But if you feel like donating to the show, please scan the QR code in the top left of the screen. There's a virtual donation tip jar there that you can tip if you wish.
Sorry.
And also, I actually want to do this, QR codes. I want to show this. This is a charity. Hold on, son. This is a charity here that we've been building to donate to the Starlight Children's Foundation. It's based here in Australia. Fantastic foundation. Mrs. Red Rose donated a whole heap last week. I followed up by donating just before the show because I didn't work out how to do it straight after the show. It should be easier to do now. But I've sent myself in another $100 as well. We're trying to reach $500 to give to the kids. If you want to donate $5, $10, £5, £10, 50, 100, whatever. We're trying to reach the $500 target, and then we'll donate it. Now, this is set up directly through their website. I don't handle this whatsoever. Whatever donations get sent over, it's through a link that I've set up directly to them. Okay, so we just want to plug that as well before we end the show. Now, before,
but I
what would you rather?
But so we can't do 3. Normally we do, but this time we only have 1.
Okay.
But today's Would You Rather is
So he wants to do a Would You Rather before we finish. It's his big thing, right?
So
it was about the car, right?
Oh yes. So would you rather get locked in a car or get locked out a car?
Okay, so you get locked out of your car. So if you want to type your answers,
I forgot.
you can text them to me. You can text them on the screen.
We'll wait a bit.
Yeah, we'll wait a second. We'll talk for a second. But would you rather get locked outside your car or get locked inside your car? Okay,
But
so
for
Mr.
me-
Bombastic, which is Joshua, he has.
For me, I would rather get locked out the car
Why would you rather get locked outside the car?
because sometimes you have to leave your valves behind, just like if you had a fire, you have to leave it behind. But when you get out, you can be free. But if you're locked in, you can't really get out.
Okay. I think we got to add an element to this because it depends on where your car
Because
is.
you can still bring stuff
Okay,
out.
let's add something to this to change the whole element of it, right? What if it was in the snow? Would you rather be locked outside your car or inside your car?
That is so easy.
What?
Inside.
Oh, why? You said outside before.
Because if it was a snow, when you get locked in, it's nice and warm inside, so you don't have to get freezing cold. Outside, you just get locked out with the freezing cold.
Okay. So we've got a couple of answers here. Mr. Bombastic,
Locked
Joshua,
out. Okay,
said
we got
he'd rather be locked out as well, and same as Pebble Steady Bryce,
Locked
which is King Dart. He said locked out. If we're in the snow and you said you'd rather be locked in the car, you know what? I'd rather be locked out. You know why?
Why?
Because I just go inside the house and warm up.
Yeah, but
Yeah. But what if you're locked out of your car in the North
But
Pole?
as
That's a different
well-
story.
as well, I forgot to mention, but if you like really got your answer, you have to say I'm locked in with it.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're not really, then you don't really have to say it.
Okay. Well, I think
forgot
we've
to
got our
mention.
answers from people here at the
But-
moment anyway. Okay.
Actually, I would rather get locked out.
Okay. So we've got, is that Bryce from New Zealand? He said, I would also be locked out because I would just go skiing and wait for someone to come and unlock it for me. There you go. So he'd rather be locked out.
Yeah, but
What
you don't
about
really have anything
what about
to
if you
ski with.
what about if the car was in the desert? Would you rather be locked in or locked out?
Both are pretty bad because if you
Both
get
are
locked
pretty
out,
bad, yeah.
it's pretty hot.
Yeah.
Inside, you just be steaming hot.
I think so. I think locked out is better, and I'd just like
Right,
underneath
out.
the car somewhere. Yeah, I absolutely would.
Or I might just leave the car there and try to push it.
Yeah, you can push it through the sand. Why not? Oh, we just received a donation, an
I know,
anonymous
we got
donation.
8 people donated.
Oh wow, that's fantastic! Thank you so much. I'm not sure who it is yet. I think it says anonymous anyway. But
Anonymous.
to Mr. and Mrs. Anonymous
That
or Mr. and Ms. Anonymous, someone just donated $100. We appreciate that so much. I think we're not that
And-
far from the target. It's like about $200 away. If anyone wants to donate
And
to that, that'd be great.
By Anonymous, we have an anonymous mask right over
We do. We
there.
have an anonymous mask, correct?
And
yeah,
that is my old what's it called?
what is it then?
Thanos hat
Okay.
that you just put on.
All right. So
Roses.
Mrs. Red Rose has sent the Red Rose. Tia Rose to you now. She's always got this young kids back, so I appreciate it. All right, so we're going to wind up the show now. So we're going to
So now we
say
have to wait for a few more answers.
we did. They've sent the answers. All right. So give us a follow. Give us a follow on social media. YouTube channel is Father and Son Podcast, and also the Facebook page Father and Son Podcast. If you can.
Love your work,
boys. Have a great night. Talk soon. Thank you, King Dart, which is Purple Steady there. Yeah, give us a follow there. Obviously, this goes out on my own channels. It's much more limited when you're trying to do any streaming or send these sort of videos directly out to a channel which is a kids channel, which I've set that up for my son for the Father and Son Podcast. There's a lot of things you can't do with comments and things, so I'll actually record it here and then upload it after to those other channels so you can still catch it. So thanks for supporting. I think the first week or two we got a good amount of subscribers. I think it was 20 or 30 or something like that, maybe 42. I can't remember now, but that was good for the first couple of weeks. All right, son, any final words before we say thank you to the folks and move on for another week?
Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye. Thanks for coming. Thanks for the donations. No, wait. Thanks for the donations. Thanks for listening. You can hit it in the end. Appreciate that. And we will see you next week. We don't know if it's Friday or Saturday yet, but we will certainly let you know in time. So thanks for listening.
That was from
All right, another week.
Roy.
Ready? Outro song. You can't wait to play it. Here we go. See you later, folks. We'll see you next week.
For me, I really like cone.
What do you like about corn?
It's cone.